Thank you, Curtis, particularly for following up on that nudge and what God activated in you in this week as you prepared to share with us. I'm going to invite Esther to come up. Where is it? There she is. Esther, you can make your way this way. I forgot the notes at the pew. Esther, I got to know Esther through my coworker, whose name was also Esther. And Esther in the book of the Bible, right, is for such a time as this. And Esther, my colleague, and Esther are true living examples of people who show up and follow God's leading. Esther, I've been honored to do a few different things with you alongside Open Homes, and very excited to hear you share today.
Good morning. Yes. I had a very comfortable life in Nigeria, West Africa, where I am from. I was part of a close-knit community where everyone looked out for each other. I loved that my mom, my sisters, my aunties, uncles lived close by, and we all visited each other often with no appointments. You just barge in. I had 2 thriving businesses. I had house helps. I had a driver who drove me anywhere I wanted to go to. Unfortunately, there was another part of my life that stole away all that comfort and put me out at risk, which I won't go into today. I had to leave all that comfort behind and find a safe place. So 4 years ago, I began my refugee journey and found myself in Canada. I arrived here not knowing anyone, with nowhere to stay. I felt so vulnerable, so afraid, and uncertain. The thought of ending up on the streets without a safe, secure place to live terrified me. Despite my optimism and careful planning, the housing market threw up obstacles I had not foreseen. Without a rental history, you don't get to be acknowledged. High rents, limited options, all those challenges made me feel so scared. It was difficult. The entire experience was incredibly humbling. Navigating a system I was unfamiliar with on my own, while dealing with my own emotional baggage that I carried. It was very overwhelming. I felt very deep despair and wondered, where was Jesus? Where was Jesus? I will ask, where are you? It's like you're falling off a cliff and you're going down, and you're like going down, then somebody picks you up, and it's like he got me. In that despair and confusion, as I just lose focus on taking my eyes off Jesus and feeling as if all was coming to an end and I was going to be on the streets, God sent someone to restore my hope, just as Jess mentioned. He sent a Kenyan woman named Esther. Isn't God doesn't he have such a sense of humor? Esther, just like me. Along with her family, whom I did not know. This divine connection came through my spiritual director, who lives in Kenya, where I lived for like 12 years. They had lost touch with each other for over 25 years with my spiritual guide. But somehow, my spiritual guide got in touch with me, and I told her the situation I was in, and she said, okay, I will look for this lost friend. And somehow, they reconnected in only the way God can orchestrate. Esther and I also connected, and she invited me to her home to stay with her and her family until I could get a place of my own. She said it was part of her culture and her Christian faith to offer such hospitality, because I had to ask her, what? You're Kenyan, I'm Nigerian, what is this? How? So she says to me, it's my values, it's what I know how to do. And Esther, even if you don't find a place, I'll still keep you in my home. She gave me her daughter's bedroom. Her daughter was off in the university in Ottawa, and she just, I just can't explain that. My explanation in all of it, that was Jesus, looking out for me. He was looking out for me because he knew how his daughter was terrified, scared stiff. OW workers, when I called them and they're asking what's all the, I'm like, I'm not even able to answer questions. Some days they ask you your name, you don't even know. I can't even say my name is Esther because I was that scared. I lived with Esther for like 3 months. The family warmth and welcome was incredible sign of hope for me. It gave me hope. I was looking for, he knows what we're looking for. I was looking for that family connection, and he gave it to me in Esther, who I never knew. But I knew this was temporary and I couldn't stay there long term. I kept on making phone calls and doing research, trying to find other options that I found. Then I came across Open Homes, Hamilton. And I said to myself, this looks exactly like what I needed. But when I called, they told me there was no space available. Oh, I was deflated. I moved on and kept on exploring other possibilities. While searching for housing, I was also looking for a job. And that was just as frustrating. My training and credentials in counseling psychology weren't recognized. This made me realize another major challenge newcomers face. Overcoming this employment hurdle requires adopting new ways of thinking and being open to different approaches. Reflecting on everything I had experienced, I felt a strong desire to explore working as a settlement counselor so I could help others in similar situations. I enrolled in a bridging program to prepare for a career as a settlement worker here in Canada. It was by the Mennonite missionaries. Part of this program involved completing an internship to gain practical experience. I was eager to do my internship in Hamilton, but struggled to find an organization willing to take me as a student. One day, when I was at a church event, I met a reverend sister. We just sat together. I just met her, and she wanted to know more about me. And I shared my struggle with her. She mentioned that she had just heard about a program that helps newcomers in the city and suggested I contact them. Maybe I could do my placement with them, she wondered. She told me the organization was called Open Homes. I said, Open Homes sounds familiar. And my mind suddenly recalled the time I had called them looking for assistance. She also sent me a flyer the next day for an event that was happening that week. It was called Hamilton Church's Refugee Roundtable. And it was jointly hosted by Open Homes, Micah House, and TrueCity. I was instantly intrigued. I put it on my calendar right away and planned to attend. I arrived late because I was still learning my way around the city, but I was so glad I went. That day, I met a whole room full of people who love Jesus, just like we are here today. I normally will not be able to talk like this, but because of the love I feel comfortable. I know it's Jesus we're calling. It's Jesus we're worshiping. So I met a room full of Jesus, of people who loved Jesus and who loved newcomers. Whoa. I felt so good and so hopeful. Not long after that, I connected to Open Home's team leader to inquire about doing my internship with them. And this time around, the first no became a yes. They agreed. My hope suddenly increased even more. God had not forgotten me. He was with me every step of the way. That yes that led to another yes. And last October, I officially joined the team on a 6-month contract as a Kingship Circle leader. I now have a privilege of welcoming and guiding newcomers through a journey I once experienced just a couple of years ago. What an unexpected gift. I can hardly believe that I now get to work with the program that I once called Looking for Shelter for Myself. Not only has God provided me with a place to live, that's a story for another day, how I got my accommodation where I live now. But He also gave me meaningful work where I can use my gifts and experience. I have a great church where I worship and serve, and a growing community that is so loving. Isn't God wonderful? God's faithfulness in my life is very evident. Although I still have many questions and uncertainties, my faith and trust in God are stronger than ever before, and I have tremendous hope. Many days I find myself singing the song that we just all finished singing together. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long. Thank you.